Okay. Let's go.
Season 2, we'll get a new clapper. Every season, a new clapper.
What defines a season for this?
When we take a break because of burnout.
Or because of moving away of some people.
What?
I need to keep my slippers on so you guys don't get a face full of dog.
Yeah. That's why I'm sitting like this, because I don't want them to see my legs.
Woof. That works because, did you know that Cinnamon Roll is actually a dog, not a bunny? This is a male dog, not a female bunny, as most
You know, Hello Kitty is a human girl.
I know. We talked about this, like, literally...
A couple days ago,
yeah.
And she doesn't speak because actions are louder than
words.
And you gotta show kindness through actions.
Exactly. I have so much skin showing right now. I don't like it. I'm gonna change my pants.
5 hours later.
Me, on the other hand, yeah. I'm back with pants.
Yes.
I
always had pants.
Updates. I got tattoos. You can't see them. Maybe I'll put photo. This one you can't see at all. Actually,
Yeah, that's crazy. You should
Barely
just put
there.
a star on your shoulder to show.
And it'll stay there. And I'll mask it there the entire episode.
And then it's just eventually gonna migrate. Because the AI is not that good.
Yeah. Anyways, today we're talking about Ryan Gosling, everybody's favorite man.
Yes! I love him!
The Ryans and the Chris's have taken over the world to an extent.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling, and then Chris Evans, Peters, what?
You already messed it up.
Yeah, Evans.
Well, I think of the Marvel ones, so it's Evans and Hemsworth and Pratt,
not Peters.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like, one of them starts with a P, I know it.
Yeah. Chris Pratt's done so much more than that. He's the voice of Garfield.
And Mario.
And
he's in Parks and Rec.
Yep.
And
Exactly. Have you seen the clip of him, like, throwing something and breaking a light switch, and he, like the electricity turned off because he, like, actually broke something on set, and
no.
He, like, jumped over a desk to, like, dive at it, and then, like, fell off the desk. It's, like, crazy. He's chaotic. He's a chaotic man.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Didn't he almost get canceled once? I don't remember what it was about. I feel like everyone's almost gotten canceled.
Maybe. That is almost every man.
Oh, I think it was because of... Oh, I think he almost got canceled because of... He made, like... It was because of his Parks and Rec days.
Mm. There's jokes that are not great there.
Yeah. I think it was...
All of those.
I don't really remember. I could be completely wrong, but... He's from here. Did you know that?
No. I only knew that, like, Rainn Wilson? No, but has changed his name since.
Editing odd here. I got this information wrong, so I muted it.
Oh. Well, Rainn went to UW.
And he also went to high school around here.
Wow. Central also has a really famous actor. I'm trying to think of which one it is. I don't know. Fun fact of the day.
I also could be wrong. I could be misremembering. I think I'm remembering, though.
Yeah.
The outside is so loud.
Yeah. The windows are closed.
I know.
It might be okay for them.
I'll just put noise reduction over the entire thing.
Yeah.
There was, like, 4 police cars earlier this morning.
Really?
And there's been construction nearby for the past 2 weeks, so I've been having a hard time
There was an
sleeping.
ice cream truck. A very loud ice cream truck.
You were here? Or are you
No.
talking about the thing that I sent?
I'm talking about a text message that Odd sent me. And I am pretending that I was also present for the ice cream truck.
I have a video. It was because I was watching
Video
YouTube.
cue.
I was watching YouTube, and I could hear the ice cream truck music through my headphones, and I was like, this is such weird music for Tara Yummy to be putting in her Coachella vlog. And I was like, and then I paused the video and I still heard the music. I was like, okay, I'm hallucinating, I'm about to die. And then I took off the headphones and I looked outside and I was like, oh, there's an ice cream truck right outside of my apartment. And I have no idea why. This is...
You look so scared.
Is there an ice cream truck outside? I'm in the middle of Seattle.
I was scared. I was really, really confused.
I've never seen you that scared before.
And I was telling...
I'm shocked you weren't shaking.
I was telling somebody that I've only seen ice cream trucks like 5 times in my life.
Really?
Like, I've heard them like 5 times, like in real life. And I was telling somebody about this and I was like, yeah, they just like never came around my neighborhoods. And they were like, yeah, they never came around our neighborhoods either. We just went outside as children. And I was like, I went outside too. There just weren't ice cream trucks.
I mean, maybe they're just like less of a thing. Stranger danger. Don't take candy from strangers. No sweets.
I don't know. But it was so funny because the ice cream truck was taking Venmo. And I was like, that's hilarious. And
No,
I was
that's
just
real.
watching them, like...
There probably were like, no. I was about to say they were probably illegal. That's not true at all. I just would like to think that a guy, like, you know,
I don't
like,
know.
got his van and he's like, let's do this thing. And then,
Yeah,
like, no
I mean-
permits because I think that'd be fun.
I mean, who's gonna stop you?
The police?
But, like, if you see an ice cream truck,
That's
they're
true.
playing the music and they have the stickers on the side.
Yeah.
Who is going... No one's the none the wiser. None the wiser.
People are none the wiser.
Yeah, like, you're not gonna know. You're just gonna assume that it's an ice cream truck doing ice cream truck things.
Yeah.
And apparently the door was not there, like a mail truck. Like, they didn't have a door. So, I don't know about that. I didn't go outside. I just stared at it from my window.
Yeah.
But
So I'm noticing that you were listening to Chapel before this, and I think that's great.
I've been nonstop listening to her. If you look at my earbuds, I can put a screenshot of my earbuds from last week. It's just her and Lebe.
That's real.
That's it. There might have been another person, but I don't remember. But it was just...
Yeah, it was just here.
I know, that's why I was listening to
Yes.
her. And I might
Oh,
have
you
been-
saw her. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
And I might have been listening to one specific song on repeat over and over and over again.
Wow. Sorry, I'm going through the songs I know and I'm questioning which one.
It's Promise. Have you heard it?
No.
I'll play it.
I haven't heard enough. I'm sorry. I need to get on that.
No.
I was
It's-
only just introduced to Chapel. It's okay. I listen to so much music, but I also know so few people. So
When I played it the other day, was that the first time you heard her?
not the first time.
You were
I just like
You were vibing to it, though.
I was vibing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
K-pop! Yes!
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's supposed to be coming here over the summer, but in order to see her, you have to buy a $300 ticket for a weekend pass.
Whoa.
We talked about this, right?
Which one? Chapel or
Chapel. Wow. For the Capitol Hill City Block Party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I forgot about that. 'cause
GA is $235 for the weekend pre-tax.
That's a lot.
Disgusting. That's more than any con. And I
That's
think
a lot.
I know.
It's a fun time though. Any of Capitol Hill's like big events are really great.
I've never experienced any of them. So
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I have. Pride last summer, a little bit.
Oh, does Pride count as a Capitol Hill big event?
I feel like yes.
I've been to 2 Pride parades. So
But I need to be deeper in it this year. Pride needs to be like a larger event in my life.
my first Pride parade, I got to march in it. I was very tired by the end of it. But my friend's mom was helping a nonprofit, and they were like, we need people to march in the parade. Where are your gay friends? Where are your little gay friends? And she was like, hey guys, who wants to come to a Pride parade? So I got to do that. I wore a wig. I was sweating a lot. It was, yeah. But
Probably smell bad.
the parade or me?
The parade. I'm just saying that like that much sweat from those many people
Yeah.
with like a hot summer day, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even say the name of my favorite, like, pride thing because their title has a slur in it. Lesbians on bikes. Now, if you rhyme it, that's the name.
Well, I think there's also a stereotype of a specific type of lesbian who rides motorcycles, so it's not that hard to figure it out.
I know, but I just, like, I can't say
Yeah.
it. But it's, like, that was my favorite part because there were just hot women on motorcycles. I love motorcycles and I love hot women, so
Yeah.
it was a 2-for-1 for me.
I'm taking a sex ed class, a very popular class at UW, and they have queer people in that textbook, which is great. But I want you to know the one picture they have of, like, lesbians. So they're like, this is like, we're introducing, like, gay people exist, lesbians exist. It's, like, great. The one picture they have of lesbians is a bunch of women on motorcycles.
That's fire.
That's the photo. And I feel like that's great.
I think I enjoy that stereotype.
Yeah.
I'm not a part of that community, though, so I can't say too much. I don't know. I'm trying to... I don't... I want to be PC, and I think I am for the most part, but I'm always afraid of saying something that's gonna be like, you shouldn't have said that, especially on camera.
Well, I like gay people.
Did I say that I didn't?
I myself am queer, so.
I am gay people. I posted this thing on Instagram last night, and it was like tell me which one I am, and it was like 4 different categories, and it was like,
you do that a lot. Sorry.
Do I? Sorry. Do I?
Keep going.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be offended right now. Anyways, one of the things that you were supposed to pick between was My Little Pony characters. And a bunch of people chose Rainbow Dash.
For you.
For me. I thought they would choose Pinkie Pie because I cosplayed Pinkie Pie and I really, really like Pinkie Pie, but they chose Rainbow Dash, and I was like, what are you guys trying to say here? Because Rainbow Dash is, like, arguably, like, the gay one.
Yeah.
Out of the ponies.
But we can also argue that a lot of the ponies, their colors represent
they're all different
queer
flags. Yeah. And Pinkie Pie's Pan, and I identified as Pan for a really long time.
I feel like you want to be Pinkie Pie.
I do want to be Pinkie Pie.
Okay. Solid.
Why do you
'Cause
think
every
I'm so vibrant?
Well, every time that you send me one of those things, you're like, which one? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, okay, gotta do something a little colorful, but, like, it can't be, like, just, like, the frilly, like,
but,
pink,
like,
whatever.
what do you
And then every time I
think
send it to you, you're like, why didn't you send me the light pink, frilly, like, ultra
How
fun
many
one?
times has this happened?
It's happened a couple times.
I don't think so, because at least for you, because I
Yes.
send Jasper one, like, every single day.
I know. I know you send it more to other people, too. This is what I'm saying. You do this all the time.
It's just because it's on TikTok. If I
Yeah.
had you on TikTok, I'd be sending you a lot of things.
Odd does text me TikToks because I'm not on
Yeah.
TikTok, and I think you die a little every time you do that.
No, it's just, like, it takes more brain power, because
Yeah.
I like, it means that I actually want you to watch it, though. Because if
Yeah.
I just sent you everything
You know
that
what
I,
I
like,
wanna send
thought
you?
you would like, it would... we'd be receiving, like, 50 things a day.
I want to send you YouTube shorts sometimes, but I have not. I refuse to send a YouTube short.
That's fair. I'm gonna start
Although I'm
posting on YouTube
realizing
Shorts.
that we should have YouTube shorts, and you guys should send them to your friends.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh no.
We could have an Instagram too,
And TikTok.
and then we can. Oh yeah, that probably
Yeah.
makes sense. And then
You want a social media man?
yeah, I can. I do that all the
We
time.
talked about that last episode.
Oh,
It was for, like, a
you know what we
split
haven't
second.
talked about this episode?
Ryan Gosling. Okay, so last week we watched this movie called The Gray Man. It came out in 2020 on Netflix.
Directed by the Russo brothers.
They did not cook. Those moves did not fuck.
Those moves did not. I'm sorry. I thought maybe they could. But in the end, it never got better.
Those moves did not fuck. Like, the entire time. So we watched it with 3 other people. So us 2 and 3 other people. And I just have to say that I'm mildly disappointed. I watched it because when I went on a tour to Universal Studios, there were a lot of costumes for the Gray Man, like, in boxes outside of the props area. And my dad said something about, oh, there's going to be, like, a second movie coming out soon, I think.
Whoa.
Or it's in the works. And I think I did look it up when we were in class the other day, and it's going to come out in 2025. But it's bad.
Yeah.
And it kind of ends, so I don't know what the sequel would even be about.
Can we say spoilers that don't actually happen? Can we say what we thought would happen? I feel
They're
like
listening
we can.
to a movie podcast.
That's so real.
We're gonna say spoilers.
Spoil everything. I thought that they were gonna be brothers.
I said
We
that
all
out
thought that.
loud. I said that out loud.
And they weren't brothers. And I'm gonna be real with you. It would have been so corny if they were. But the fact that they weren't pissed me off. Because there was, like, nothing. There was no twist. We just ended, and I was like...
It felt
Like, why did this matter to 6?
Just, things were happening...
Yeah.
Because they were happening. Well, it mattered because of the daughter.
The niece?
Yeah.
Because he has a relationship with her. But, like,
it was just like an average Thursday.
Yes. Thursday.
I mean, you can't say that it's not quotable, because we have been quoting some of the
That's
things.
true. A lot of blood.
A lot of blood.
A lot of
But,
blood.
okay, so, is a dialogue being quotable, is that indicative of a good or a bad movie?
Because we are quoting lines that are not
Bad.
the best. But they're really fun.
But they stick in our minds.
Because they were bad.
Bad. So...
I mean, okay, there were fun elements to the movie. I think overall, though, it felt like a very high-budget Netflix film where somehow, like, there was money spent, but everyone was still underpaid, if that makes sense. like, it's just kind of those things that, like, everyone could do better, would have liked to done better, but they were quoted at a certain price, so they could only spend so much time on it.
The gaffer cooked, though.
You guys liked the gap. I felt... It just was cinematic. Lots of pretty colors. I don't know if it felt, like, vibey. I think I expected something like, like dirty or grimy or old film. And so, yeah, no, like, the gaffer did exactly what they wanted to.
It was very new. I haven't seen the new Blade
It's very
Runner,
clean.
but, like, that one scene that I know that's like, I can fix that. That, like, those are the colors that are, it's like...
Is it where she's, like...
The giant woman,
yeah. The giant woman.
Yeah. And she's
That's
like,
crazy
I
that
can
you know
fix
that scene out of context.
Well, it's because it was a really famous TikTok
I
video.
know. It's just there's more background.
Yeah, but it's just
It's
like...
very emotional.
It's just a thirst-trapping audio in my brain.
Yeah. That's true.
But, like,
True.
I don't know, if a giant woman said that to me, I'd, like, crumble and fall to my knees and, like...
That's what Ryan wanted to do.
I haven't seen it, so...
Well, do you want to be spoiled for that then? I'll stop
No.
asking that. Oh.
I told you that before we started recording.
God.
No
Okay.
spoilers.
Well, we watched a couple things with Ryan recently.
Yeah, we watched The Gray Man, and we also watched Crazy Stupid Love recently, which we mentioned last episode. And
I
we
might
never
have said this
elaborated.
before. I didn't realize the party scene was Crazy Stupid Love.
The
And then
ending
also,
one with the mini golf.
yeah, and
That
also, like, I knew, like, all of those people were in that scene, and I knew they were all in this movie, and I just never thought we were going to get to that scene. I was like, there's no way that that's, like, the same thing. Like, that's a different thing. And then the scene started, and I lost my shit. I was like, I know this. I know this so well. I know
I've
what's
seen
about
clips.
to happen. It's like, I've seen clips of this. I know this scene, and it's a great scene. And honestly, I'd like to know if they wrote that scene as, like, one of their first scenes in that movie.
Can we turn the cat around? Its butthole has been in the camera this entire time. Putting it in my face for what? I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, like, I can totally see somebody coming in with that idea and being like, what if there was this guy who's getting a divorce and he wanted to become a playboy and he also has some daughters, right? And so he befriends, or the playboy, like, teaches him and mentors him, but then later the playboy becomes not a playboy and starts dating this sad guy's daughter, but he doesn't know until they have, like, a family gathering. And then also this babysitter And those parents of the babysitter are
Who are also their
friends
best
with him?
friends with him. And
No,
they've
there's
taken
no
the
way.
wife's side in the divorce too.
There's no way that's how that started. That's so convoluted
It's
to
so
start like
great.
that.
I love it so much. And the best part too is the scene right before. Because right before, Ryan calls Steve and he's like, hey man, like, I met this girl. It's a little different now. My
Your
life's
parents
different.
and
I'm gonna see her mom.
Mhm.
Like, do you think that's okay? And Steve's like, you got this, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you got this. This is gonna be great for you. You've really done it. Like, this is great. And it's his ex-wife.
Did they officially divorce? I don't remember if it was still in motion.
Their separated wife.
But I think they got back together at the end.
At the end, which was wrong.
You don't agree that they should have
No.
been together?
They shouldn't have been together. Other people can be together. They shouldn't have been.
The actress for the mother, I fucking love her. I forgot her name.
Look at it.
I think it... Am I thinking of the right person? But she cheated first.
Yes.
So
That's true.
What part do you think is bad?
Well, I think he also treats her bad later. I don't know. I just don't think they're right for each other. The whole movie's like, they're perfect for each other. They're soulmates. They met when they were really young, and they've always been together. And I'm like, okay, let's see them not be together. Let's see them live their own lives. And
Kevin
grow.
Bacon looked like a creep that entire movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore. I love her. I love her face a lot.
I just think it's fun that we watch Crazy Stupid Love and then we watch Gray Man.
Yeah.
And I've seen other films. I've seen Blade Runners, the second one.
We've both seen La La Land and
La La
Barbie.
Land. Barbie.
And then, what was a Ryan Gosling film that I've seen that you haven't?
Have you seen Drive?
No.
Or Notebook? The Notebook.
Oh, The Notebook is what we're
I
talking
haven't
about.
seen The
I've seen The Notebook. I think I like Ryan Gosling in rom-coms more than action films.
The Fall Guy's
I
coming
think.
out.
But that's both.
That's exciting.
And it's film meta. It's being meta with film stuff, which I always love because Scream is one of my favorite franchises. But yeah, it's just like it's something about his voice specifically for the Gray Man where it's just like a little bit too unserious.
Yeah.
And so I can't take his dialogue. It's like,
How much
oh,
of that
I'm
is
bleeding
the
out.
writing, though? Because I think it's supposed to be a comedy movie, but it's shot as a very serious movie. And I think Ryan was told to play it a bit comedic.
But it's like even the I'm thinking of the scene in the vet where he's like telling this woman like, oh yeah, my dad used to, like, why he was in jail the first time. Like, I just couldn't take it seriously because his voice was so high. Or it was just something about his voice that just made it not serious. And it might have been because he was playing with the words lightly and not being dramatic enough, but I don't know.
Yeah. I did feel not a lot from that scene. Like,
I also guessed it.
yes.
So, that was another thing.
Well, I just feel like that scene should have made me want to cry, and it didn't get there.
The other thing that was really disappointing is that his brother doesn't show up at all.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
what-
probably
we
what's
all
going to happen
thought-
in the second one.
Yeah.
Lloyd should have been the brother, though, because I feel like that as a traumatic event as a child would have fucked you up
Yeah.
morally and mentally.
Well, I think they're trying to say that Lloyd's like, what, a psychopath? What are they trying to say Lloyd is?
I don't know. Also, Chris Evans, I also can't take him seriously in that role specifically.
Okay, what did you feel about for Knives Out, though? Have you seen Knives Out?
Yes. Knives Out, he was barely there. Like, for the first hour of the movie, he doesn't say
He's
a lot.
crucial
I know,
to the
but
movie.
I'm thinking about it. He just doesn't say a lot, I think. Like, he just sits there kind of, like, menacingly for a little
What?
while.
I'm
I'm
the
thinking...
sweater scene. What
What?
is you know? Okay, so the bar scene. He's talking to Anna, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Let me help you." And then he's like, "You just ate beans, and you're gonna throw up if you lie." And like,
Yeah, But that was, like...
And then he's with her a lot of the rest. I guess, like, she leaves, but, like, they're together off and on.
Yeah, I think... I'm just thinking about, like, the first 30 minutes of the movie, mostly. Like, he doesn't become a... In my brain, he doesn't show up a lot until he becomes the getaway driver in that one scene.
Mm.
Like, that's the first time that it clicks, like, oh, he's in the movie.
Yeah. As it should.
And that's, like, 45 minutes in.
Yeah.
So, that's my thing. But it's, like, he works for I think it was just a stupid fucking mustache. I just hated that mustache.
That was a stupid mustache.
I just, like, it was silly.
Also, he was so... His shoulders and arms were so, like, top-heavy compared to the rest of his body. Like, they were so muscular that it was just, like...
You got that Captain
crazy
America build.
I know.
I don't think I can deal with Chris Evans with facial hair. I just don't think it's something that I can handle.
I liked Chris Evans in this movie. I think it was fun. I think the largest flaw of this movie was the writing. I don't really blame any of the actors. I think they were doing the best they could with what they were given. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But...
Because that dialogue fucks.
A lot of dialogue.
Such a bad line! And also, like, you were pissed off that they just decided to have a fist fight. I was pissed off that he pulled out a knife, because that's not fair.
Yeah. But he's not supposed to be fair. He's an evil, muscly man.
But he was like,
came from Harvard.
Oh yeah,
he's a Harvard man.
You know,
they're all Harvard graduates.
You know, the three of us, we went to Harvard together, so we kind of got that history going on, and so he doesn't...
And there's a bromance, and I'm trying, like, I could never talk to him because he's too in love with Lloyd, and we gotta remove him.
And he's also sexist towards me because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
That guy's so sexist.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's so...
Because it's just trying to show that he's evil. It's like every time that he, like, punches somebody or, like, threatens someone, I'm like, you're just trying to show that he's, like, evil.
And it's just, like, it's... There was no subplot or subtext. I think that's what it was. Because, like, oh my god, my hair's crispy because it dried weird. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, if we had, like, more time to be like, oh, I wonder what's on the drive, I wonder why he wants it so much. Because it was, like, so obvious.
Yeah.
Like, not even 20 minutes in before we got it getting unencrypted, broken.
Well, like,
deciphered.
Before it was unencrypted, we already saw an image of it, of the video. We saw it, like, back in our starting town. I don't remember what town it was.
I don't remember that.
We saw it on the computer, like, the moment that the code's like, you need to enter a code. We saw an image of, like, one of the videos.
I must have not been looking at the screen at that time.
Yeah.
But basically, like, the motives
there was no
were
mystery.
There was no mystery, and all of the bad guys were such bad guys. Oh, and they kept using the word bad guy. They were like, that guy did some bad stuff. He's a bad guy.
We shoot bad guys.
What? Literally what?
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird, especially if you're, like, in the government. I feel like you don't use the word bad guy. Say criminal.
Was that considered, like, a mature rating for that movie?
They said these moves fuck.
Yeah, because I'm just, like, curious, because it feels like
And
if you
there was a
say
good
bad
amount
guy, it's, like, something that's written for
I know,
a younger
like,
audience.
Yeah,
so I'm like...
But, like, the fireworks scene, like, there was so much blood and, like, someone's face literally got blasted off of it.
That was...
Sorry, I thought you were telling me to, like, not...
No.
spoil something. I was like,
No, we spoil everything. Things I thought Ryan was great in. Barbie.
Oh my god, Ryan was in The Nice Guys?
Yes.
I did not realize that was Ryan. I love The Nice Guys.
I also love Ryan in La La Land. I think the point here, though, is that Ryan either wasn't the right choice or was given bad writing. I expected a little bit more from the movie. I was very excited for Gray Man, and...
It was PG-13.
Okay.
But even then, it's like, use the word criminal instead.
Yeah.
You are the CIA, and you're saying bad guy?
That's a serial killer. That's a crime lord.
Right? Or like, this is a gang. They're doing gang activity. Right? Because that's what it that's what it was. Or like, traitor is also a good word. These are some of the words that they could have used
Trafficker?
instead. But I think part of it was that he didn't want to, like, give away too much about what was going on because he didn't want Six to think about if he was doing something wrong.
But if you had told him, like, that's a human trafficker, and then there's a child standing next to him, you'd be like, wow, maybe I'm saving the kid by shooting this guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think you can make up...
The kid. Shooting the kid.
By shooting the guy. But I think you can make up a story very quickly, rather than just saying, like, that's a bad person.
The Gray Man 2 is coming out in 2025. Unconfirmed with a potential debut. Ryan Gosling's in Morbius? When? I haven't seen all of Morbius, so I don't...
I saw Morbius with, how do you... What's the phrase? It's the audio captions for the visually impaired, which is probably not the best term to use. I believe that's the term that they used on Morbius's disc. But they had a narrator explain, like, Morbius runs into the hallway. He runs faster.
Oh.
Sweat drips down his thing, like his face.
Why did you watch it like that? In theaters or on a DVD?
No, it was on a DVD. And so he would be like, I don't know, I don't remember anything of the movie. He's like, I'm Morbius, and then be like, Morbius stands in front of the girl. And like, like
that's great.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's like audio subtitles or description of some kind. I don't know.
Yeah, just narration.
Just for blind people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That... I can't imagine. Ugh.
Yeah. It was great. I know nothing from the movie. I don't remember anything.
I know one thing. Jared Leto plays Morbius. Did you know that Jared Leto has a band?
I feel like
I've talked about this before because I freaking love this fact. Jared Leto is the lead singer of a band called 30 Seconds to Mars, and one of their songs called This Is War is used as the opening for Sword Art Online Abridged YouTube series, which I fucking love because it's hilarious.
No.
Have you seen Sword Art Online?
No. I know there's incest.
We don't talk about that. Sword Art Online, here. Episodes.
The incest doesn't matter, guys.
No. It's just like I don't claim it as a fan. I don't claim Alfheim Online as a thing that happened. Episodes 1 through 13, I think it's either 13 or 14 of season 1, good. Sword Art Online. It's a very good premise. They executed it kind of badly because they went too fast with some of the stuff, I feel like. But it's also, it's pretty fairly paced. It's just like you could have done more exposition in the actual MMORPG, but they didn't. Anyways, and then second half of season 1, which is Alfheim Online, we pretend does not exist. It does not matter. It did not do anything. We watched the last episode, maybe, boom, they're in the real world again, okay? And then season 2, Gun Gale Online, I actually like. A lot of people don't really care for it, but I think it's silly. The main issue with Seo is that there's a woman that falls for Kirito in every single thing, no matter what, and it's kind of annoying, but also, like, the woman that falls for him in Gun Gale Online, like, I love her. She's a sniper, and she has blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirito is kind of a badass in that one. He also has, like, really long hair. He low-key looks like Sephiroth if he had black hair.
Wow.
I could be wrong in that comparison. Sorry to any Final Fantasy fans that I just insulted with that. I just was thinking of his cloak and his hair.
And I'm zoning out because I know nothing about...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. That's all good.
Sword Art Online. It was one of my first animes.
Oh, wow. I mean, okay. No, but like... do I want to say... Okay, my first anime I watched was a little... I think it's only one season. Maybe it's like 2 or something. It's a little anime called Brothers Conflict. And that is an anime where there is a girl who has her dad, and he marries a new woman.
Told me about this before.
Yes. And this woman has, like, 7 or 9 sons, something like that. And so she's now, our main character is now the stepsister to all of these guys. She goes and, like, lives in their house because they're rich. And all of the brothers are in love with her. Yes. And there's, like, they're all older than her except for one, and the young one just is like, oh my god, big sister, great. So I'm glad that it's not weird. That's a fine one.
That's not...
I'm glad that it's not weird. But all the other brothers either, like, are trying to use her or are, like, in love with her or whatever, and she's constantly like, no, big brother. No, big brother, stay away from me. But, like, they try to kiss her. She's like, no, but, like, she's like, oh my god. No, she goes, no. And then she'll, like, leave and she'll go somewhere else in the house. And then she'll be like, oh my god, like, I think my brother's finally starting to like me. Like, I think finally, like, we're developing our sibling relationship. And he's over there like, I should have just kissed her. And it's just like...
Got the anime glasses pushed up. That was crazy.
It's so, like... It's so bad. It's so bad. That was my first anime I watched, so...
The first piece of Japanese media that I consumed was the manga for Sailor Moon Crystal. Then, or maybe original Sailor Moon, because I don't remember what... Because I know Crystal is for the rerun of the show, but I don't know if there's a difference in the manga. Anyways, so that was my first. And then I want to say that Seiya was the first anime that I watched, and I watched it dubbed. And then the first subbed anime that I ever watched was this anime called Nisekoi, which I actually have been meaning to rewatch because I just remember liking it a lot, but it's a harem anime. And it's just this guy, and there's 4 girls who are in love with him. One of them's a rich daughter. One of them's the bodyguard for said rich daughter. One of them is a normal girl, and I don't remember the last one. Okay. But I just feel like I need to rewatch it for some reason. And I can't remember if he chooses or if they just all date him. I really don't remember. But I remember it being good for some reason. I don't know if that was me being a little 13-year-old that was like, heh, pretty women. I don't know. So...
You know who's pretty? Ryan Gosling.
I fully believed you were going to say a woman.
He is, though.
He is, though. Yeah, I'm thinking, what else has Ryan done? What else can we talk about with Mr. Ryan?
We can talk about Barbie and La La Land.
We can.
Because I think those were fun performances. La La Land's weird. I think the first time I watched it, I was, like, neutral. And then every time I watched it since, it's, like, the movie I've seen the most. Every time I've watched it since, I like it more and more. There's something about it that... And then I went to LA last summer. And I think I watched La La Land either right before or right after. And, like, it must have been... I must have seen it after. Sometime after. Because I remember going to LA and being like, this is so loud. Like, I get it now. I'm like, this is the vibe. And then I watched it again, and I was like, yes, that's LA. I was like, that's cinematic LA. It's different from real LA. It is still. But I was like, there's something about it that still has this, like, this vibe.
What? Do you remember what lot they were on? What coffee shop she was on? Because for some reason, I want to say it was Warner Bros. Or it just wasn't mentioned. It was just mentioned that it was on a movie lot.
I feel like Warner's right.
When I went on the Warner Bros. Tour, we didn't see any of the sets that looked like that one. Well, but it could have been a soundstage that they just made.
Probably.
Which is disappointing for me. Actually,
I don't think it was a real place.
Yeah, but it would have been fun.
Yeah.
If you could, like... Because they had... Yeah, because they had, like, a bunch of Friends stuff that you could take pictures with, and they had Seinfeld stuff you could take pictures with. But that was mostly... And a bunch of DC stuff, and a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. Check out my other channel, there's vlogs of all of this. But yeah, it was a fun, good time.
Yeah.
I got a Willy Wonka hat from there. It's right there.
You want to put it on?
Sure. It kind of hurts my ears.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 100% wool. Guess how much it cost originally?
$100.
Yes. Guess how much we got it for?
70.
No.
120.
No. What? Why would we have paid more for it? No. It was
45.
It was 80% off. So we got it for $20.
20.
And I'd say that's a good deal. I also got a scarf. It's right there. It says golden ticket on it.
Oh,
It's the yellow one.
I do see that.
Yeah, so top of the morning to you. I just need to put something in here so it just stays above my head a little bit. Because right now, this is fully resting on the top of my head.
I don't... Your head's that big?
Hmm?
There's no way that...
No, it's because my head's small, so it fits
Oh.
inside of it, so
Okay.
it's down.
I'm a little confused, but...
Jada just said I had a big head. God just said
'Cause
I had a
you're-
big head.
You're a huge brain.
Put it
Big
on.
brain.
See,
Snazzy.
your head is big in a different way, or if, no, it was just caught on your ears.
Yeah.
See,
Why did you lean it forward so much?
What do you mean? Is this touching the top of your head?
It kind of... There's something... No, it's not the very top. There's something in the hat, like here, that's touching it.
That's... possibly? This? That's the top. That's the top.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't. But my dad was like, I'll get you this as long as I can wear it sometimes. I was like, of course you can wear it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a Willy Wonka top hat.
Nice. It's fun.
You put it back. Johnny Depp is another actor I'd like to talk about. Only his acting, though. Nothing outside of that. Only the characters that he's played, and nothing else. Because I have a part in my vlog where I'm like, oh my god, Johnny Depp was here, my bae, Captain Jack, or like, I was like, Captain Jack Sparrow was here, Johnny Depp was here, my bae was here, and in the captions I was like, I meant Captain Jack Sparrow, like, because I know someone's gonna come for me and be like, you support Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
I like how he looked, not now, past tense.
I like how he acted. Past tense.
I really like every single character that he's been, I'm like low-key in love with. I need to rewatch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that he's in.
I think it's just that he gets into the roles so heavily, and just kind of like it's diving into it. You know,
He was a good actor,
yeah, but
he hasn't acted in a while.
yes,
So,
yeah.
but like Captain Jack Sparrow, love him. The Mad Hatter, the live-action Mad Hatter from Alice Wonderland, 2010, directed by Tim Burton. Love him. And then also Tim Burton's one of my favorite directors, and they work together a lot because like
He's
Edward
kind of-
Scissorhands, he was
I don't
his
think
in
he's a
Corpse-
good person. I think.
I know.
Okay.
I like
But-
his stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what he's done that makes him a bad person besides just like being a little bit colorist.
Yeah.
But like besides that,
I don't know
either-
enough.
Besides that, I haven't heard anything about like Tim Burton like abusing women or anything of that realm, which is usually
I
like
thought-
the big no-no.
Yeah, like sexual assaulting. I thought
Yeah.
somebody said something about Jenna Ortega's role as Wednesday, but it wasn't that. I just thought there was something about like the thing, like everything was planned poorly or she felt stressed about something. I don't know. I would need to look into it.
I don't know how much that is Tim's fault. Because wasn't it something about Wednesday every episode was directed by someone else?
Oh.
No, I don't know if that's true. Some show on Netflix recently did that though, where I noticed it because the credits were different every time. But like
I'm
it's
gonna
also
stop
just
talking about Tim Burton because I don't know enough.
it's also just it's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
I don't see. This is the thing. I focus on what they've made. Jada focuses on like how they are as a person. I
But my
just
thing
care
is,
about.
I don't know anything for certain because it's just like media presence.
No,
so like
the one thing that I can say for sure that I think he said was that like white people just fit his aesthetic better. Like darker skin tones don't fit his aesthetic, and it's because, and I think a little bit is just because his aesthetic is very goth, and so a lot of that is being like extremely pale and it's very black and white, and like people with darker skin tones can definitely play into that. He's just like a white man. He's just an old white guy.
He's just a little racist.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah. But like I like his shows. I like the stuff that he's made. But like yeah, Johnny Depp voice acts in a lot of them.
You know who's not racist?
Ryan Gosling. From what we know, from the information that we have gathered here today.
I feel like, at least media presence wise, Ryan is considered a very like good person, like a great person to be around, really funny, really chill. I think he also dives into his roles really well. Like, we watched some of his SNL skits and stuff. Random. I don't know why that's the example. But, like,
It's the most recent one.
it's just, like, he's able to make something funny by being so deeply in it. It's like the Santa baby skit on SNL. Like, it's only because Ryan's so serious. He's like, no, like, go find Santa. And it's just, it's funny. Because he just, like, he's fully in it. He's like, that's my character. That's me. Like, we're going to do this now. And I think that's really impressive as an actor. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I'm thinking about... I'm just comparing the two now because, like, of, like, Johnny Depp's characters and Ryan Gosling characters. Because Johnny Depp's characters are very much, like, removed from the reality that he's currently in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ryan's, at least the rom-com ones, are very based in, like, modern day.
Yeah.
Pretty normal. But it's still really, like, impressive to see how much you can change your personality to fit either of those roles. Because I would argue, I don't want to say one is easier than the other, but, like, learning to method act or, like, stepping away from how you're normally supposed to act or like what your like true personality is, I feel like would be easier for a character that isn't even in the same time period as you. Like acting as a pirate, like there's a little bit more skill that needs to be put into like the accent and like knowing what
it's the thing
what
too
to say.
though, like Johnny Depp's able, like, the reason why Jack Sparrow is such a great character is all the little things, right? It's like these like little details, these twitches, these like little mannerisms.
Yeah.
And like that's very impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know if anyone could get Jack Sparrow like in that first movie. You know, before you have an example, how could you do that with anyone else?
Pirates of the Caribbean is getting a reboot? Is something that I've heard recently by someone. Don't know how that's gonna go because Johnny Depp will not be acting in it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting because if it's the same world, why even call it Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, why not make it its own franchise where it's just like another pirate crew? Because you don't.
Pirate shows are getting more popular.
Yeah, I know, but
I was gonna write a pirate show.
I
may still
love
do
pirates. I love pirates. My thing
Queer
is
pirates.
if I write a pirate show, I'd constantly be thinking, am I copying One Piece? And then I'd spiral. My big thing about writing is I always feel like I'm plagiarizing something.
If you pull from multiple sources and don't hide that, it's inspiration.
I know.
But multiple sources. You don't just rewrite One Piece.
I won't. I just want to be able to I want to be able to have original ideas, but every time I have one that I think I have thought of myself, I'm like, oh, I probably got it from this media source instead of thinking it by myself. I've been having a lot of imposter syndrome around that recently.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I apparently can't write until it's 2 a.m. And that's been my problem. I write at night.
I can't edit until 2 a.m. So, you win some, you lose some. I think I do my best work when I'm sleep deprived, to an extent.
Because you just have to get it done.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
You have less.
It's not fully being sleep deprived. I don't know. I really like the amount of sleep deprived where you're like tired and then you just become like really giggly and loopy. It's
The
like
first
you're
day.
it's like you're drunk.
The first day and then like the 5th day.
Of
You know what I mean? So okay, so the first day that you get sleep deprived, at least for me, it's a great day. I'm so fucking energetic. I can do anything in the world. Like, let's do this. Second day, and I mean, like, let's say you get like 2 hours of sleep a night, right? Like, you're still like surviving to some degree. Second day, hellish. Third day, hellish. Fourth day, hell. At some point, you get so tired that it is like another high. Like, that comes back later, I think. It's just like second, third day, like, those are gonna be terrible. You are barely gonna make it.
I've never been sleep deprived to that extent, and I know you've talked about you being sleep deprived to that extent before, which scares me.
You shouldn't. Don't do it.
But like for me,
Brennan Lee Mulligan talks about it.
I think for me the issue is like I literally can't operate like that if I wanted to because I am addicted to caffeine, and so I have crashes from that, and so I do actually go to bed at some point. You know, where God doesn't drink any caffeine of like almost any sort.
I have a lot of sugar.
I have a lot of both.
I go to Starbucks and I order a double chocolate chip. It's technically called chocolatey chip. Frappuccino. Has no caffeine, has a lot of sugar. And that's my drink.
We're boycotting Starbucks right now.
Yeah, I don't usually go. I'm just saying that if
That's
I had
your coffee
went,
order. That's your coffee order.
that would be my order.
Yeah.
I don't really go because I don't drink coffee. So what's
Yeah.
the point of buying something overpriced?
Yeah. Boycotting Starbucks while living in Seattle is such it's easy for non-coffee drinkers. I feel like it's a little bit harder for coffee drinkers specifically because everywhere else, like Starbucks is expensive, but everywhere else is more. I feel like because Starbucks is like the fast food of coffee. Right?
That's interesting.
I don't completely know,
like
but
the only
that's
way
like how I envision it. Cause
there's not another chain that's really working as well as Starbucks. It's only like local shops that can handle that.
Because the
expensive.
only other two that I can think of is Dunkin' and Dutch Bros, which we don't have any of near us.
There are some Dutch Bros in Washington,
but they're like 40 minutes away from Seattle. Yeah. So.
Because like, why would you compete in Starbucks' hometown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Original, 20 minutes away from here. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away. But, yeah, and then we literally have multiple, like, built into our campus.
There's also a truck. Did you know there's a mobile truck?
Yes.
Starbucks truck on campus? They drive around. Sometimes they're parked 100 feet away from a building that also has a permanent Starbucks.
It's so weird. I feel like when it's in Red Square, it's, like, easier because you're like on your way to class.
Yeah.
But yeah. Probably cut most of that out.
I feel like we haven't talked about Ryan at all. That scares me.
We're bad at staying on topic. But that's okay, I feel like.
What about Ryan? Why is he the it guy? Let's ask that question.
He's beautiful. He's just so pretty. He's just so pretty, and he's good at what he does, and it seems like he's available a lot, because he's, like, I feel like
he's picking up work.
Yeah, like, he was working on, like, 3 productions at the same time, no? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. But, like, The Gray Man...
He does have a constant supply of work coming out. Yeah. It feels like every couple months you got something new.
From Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, like I said, we don't really know how he acts in real life, but from what you hear, he's a great person to work with. Like, people seem to genuinely really like working with him. He's been in this for a really long time, because he was in this for, like, what is it called, the Disney Clubhouse thing? Like, when all of those kids that were together... You don't know what I'm talking about.
I think I do, but I don't know the name for it.
He was, like, really young when he started showing up on TV.
Was he on Disney stuff?
Yes.
What?
And he danced and sang. You can find clips of him, like, dancing as a kid.
Nice.
pretty sure it's called Disney Clubhouse. Anyways, so he's been in this a really long time, but I think he has always appeared very humble and very kind.
When I was in LA, one of my Uber drivers had a interaction with Ryan Gosling. He was driving somebody around, and their passenger said, "Is that Ryan Gosling in the car next to us?" And there was a car, Ryan was in it, all 4 windows were rolled down, so my Uber driver rolled their window down and said, "Hi, Ryan," and waved, and he waved back and said hi. So, yeah, I think he seems like a chill dude.
Yeah.
He seems like very down to earth. He doesn't seem like he has an ego or like thinks anything of his fame, I guess. And he's also like, he doesn't have a dating life, or if
he has a wife with kids.
What?
What?
Wait. How
Isn't
old is
it
he?
like, I don't, late 40s? Isn't he, I want to say a name and I'm so scared. Isn't it like Ava Mendes or something?
Why did I think he was 28?
My ring is stuck on your blanket. I'm so sorry. Hold on. This is so fucking stupid. I got snagged. Okay. That was dumb. I'm gonna look up his wife's name.
Why did I think that he was 30 and single?
Because everyone's like, you should be with Emma Stone. And people will be like, he has a wife and like 2 kids.
I know
like,
that Emma's married.
Yeah, like, they're just friends, you know, but, like, that's the thing, it's, like, because they've done a couple of rom-coms together, La La Land and Crazy Stupid Love,
Yeah.
like, it's just, he has a family, I'll say that.
I didn't know that. That's so
Okay,
weird.
yeah, I was right, it's Ava Mendes, who I think is also an actor. Yes, is an actor.
He just looks so young.
He's 43.
Only Asian people are supposed to age like that.
Yeah. I think he has 3 kids? I don't know. He's also 6 foot, apparently. He seems shorter. And that's okay. I don't think you need to be 6 foot.
I put him in the 5'10" to 6 foot range.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think, okay, here's my thing with Ryan. With Ryan, he's not, like, 80s blockbuster male lead, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't really want that. What Ryan is, it feels like a man who can play, like, the romantic lead or the main character. But, like, I feel like we get this vibe of how humble he is, even through the screen. So I think he can act. I think he can dive into a role and still feel like he's not, like, somehow hurting the other actors around him. In the way of, like, you know, the macho man 80s whatever, like, to me, I'm like, there's no way that, like, that guy can, like, interact with other people on set in a professional way. Mm-hmm. They probably can. Some of them probably can. But, like, for me, I'm like, Ryan seems like such a joy to work with that, like, he's filling in a different subsection of, like, a masculine lead. You know what I mean? It's not like he's not, like, pathetic or anything like that. He's not Andy Samberg or whatever his name is, who's the highest paid comedian. You know what I mean? Like, he's not saying that he's pathetic. I'm just saying that, like, he's not doing this, like, high, like, only comedy thing. Yeah. He's not the class clown. He's not macho, like, action. He's not this or that. But he can fit in as, like, a beautiful man who feels very humble and still, like, able to interact with other people. You're
basically saying that he's not, like, typecasted.
My thing is, I think he's just, like, a feminist, like, desire of a masculine man. Like, he's still very muscular and stuff. He still plays those leads. Yeah. But I think that he's kind of more a feminist version of those characters.
Like, he doesn't have, like, a toxic masculine.
Yeah, it feels like it's masculine, not that it's toxic.
I think the other thing, I was pondering on it, and you can disagree with me, but I feel like a lot of his characters that he plays, just the way that he plays them, they can kind of act as, like, self-inserts almost.
For himself or for the audience?
For the audience. And I think that also has, like, a lot to do with the writing as well, but it's like, part of the reason I like La La Land so much is because I do want to be in that industry, not in either of those specific roles of, like, a musician or an actor, but it's still, like, very fun to experience, and the troubles that they go through with their relationship are, like, things that I have considered for my future, like having to move away to shoot something, or, like, having to, like, travel the world for some reason or another. Like, those are all things that are, like, very real problems that can happen, and it's just, like, it's stuff that makes it really relatable. And, again, I don't know if that's just them as actors or, like, the writing or the story or whatever, but I feel like that is kind of the case in a lot of the stuff that I've seen Ryan in, except for The Gray Man.
Let's talk about La La Land for a little bit then, because I think some of that can also be attributed to the DP. Director, of course, too, but DP, because take the ending of the movie, very heartfelt. I can't get over the ending. But, like, it's because you have this, like, slow push-in of a close-up of some kind. It goes from, like, a median to a close-up of Ryan's face as he's looking at Emma. And you see him at the piano, and he's just looking and has the smallest hint of a smile, like, perk up. And it's like, there's something about that look that's just so full of, like, love, but also acceptance of, like, I'm just happy that you are finally happy. Like, you have gotten what you always wanted, and for me, that's enough. Like, you know, I wish that I could have been that person in your life, but if you are where you want to be, and that's without me, then that's the sacrifice I'll make for myself. And I think, like, that's the tragedy and the beauty of the ending, right? It's like, maybe they weren't supposed to be together. Maybe they could have made it together if they still worked at it, but we don't know. And in the end, they both got to where they had wanted to be without the other. They did support each other at the start, and I think that's important to note. But it's that question of, like, was that person just the person for that chapter? And is that good enough? Like, can we just look at those past memories and be glad that we have those memories and that that person was there at that time? Or do we need to clamp onto that person for the rest of your life? So, like, there's something there, like, it's very tragic and very beautiful. But I think Ryan...
love. I hate thinking about love.
But I think, like, for Ryan, it's like, that shot, right, like, structurally, the shot itself, like, that push in to just his face where he's just looking, like, that's partly on DP and director, but Ryan pulls it off in his acting, because you're just looking at him and what's on his face. And I think, like, that to me is how you can see his ability as an actor. Because I think when I first watched the movie, I was like, okay, his character's, like, annoying as fuck. I was like, Jazz Man, you're, like, I loved him. And I love him now, too. But, like, when you first see it, you're just very much like, a white guy, this in love with black culture. Maybe that feels a little weird, a little fetishizing. But then as you move with the character, you see that there's, you know, jazz is very important, but there's emotional cores to that, emotional backgrounds. And so I think, like, you know, the whole point is that he's supposed to be this off-putting man who kind of gets rounded out a little bit by Emma. And it's the thing of, like, when he's living in this apartment and it's fucking bare bones and his sister's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then Emma comes in and suddenly becomes more of a home. So it's, like, a little bit of a trope about the woman coming in and nurturing the man. But I think that it shows... He's able to show a character that I think you genuinely don't like in the beginning. And I think you genuinely do like at the end. And what's interesting is looking at, like, how much of the character is still the same person in that first scene. And how much has he changed. Because I think you still find, like, it's believable. You can see this character arc and you fully believe that that is the person going through that arc. It's not like the writer has just, like, made a new character.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that also is Ryan's acting.
Yeah. I was gonna make a joke about also seeing John Legend in it. But I almost called him Will Ferrell, like, 4 times, and I don't know why.
Oh, different people.
I know, and I was thinking, what is his name? Who sings Happy?
Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell. So that's
something
where
like that. Yes.
That's where I was going towards, because Because I thought John Legend sang Happy for some reason. Or I thought that the person that sang Happy was in La La Land. And I'm very bad with names and faces. Yeah. No, I'm not. Why did I say that? I'm really not.
I just like I word association.
Yeah. People that I'm not invested in. I'm bad with their names.
We apparently just did a deep dive at SNL because we have also seen the cowbell skit, which is Will. And the fun thing is that was actually referenced just in my life recently.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody was like, yeah, cowbell, get more cowbell. And I turned, I was like, it's like, what are you referencing? And they were like, yeah, like, Will, like, get more cowbell. And I was like, ah.
Who was it?
Someone you don't know.
Okay.
But some people you do know were there, but they had not seen the cowbell skit at the same time we saw. Basically, it was referenced in my life, and I panicked because I had just seen it. And what's the song? Do you remember what song it is?
Oh my god. Yes, but no.
Okay, because the whole skit is about this man.
Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
This man playing the cowbell too loudly. But is it loud enough? We don't know. We went back and we listened to the song after watching the skit.
It wasn't loud enough. It needed more cowbell.
But I was going to say there was cowbell in the song.
Yeah, and
which
it needs
great.
more. It needs more.
Needs more. It was not.
That's why the skit was made, because they said, I hear the faintest little thing in the background, and it means more. Something like that.
What was your favorite scene of Ryan's in the movies that you've seen with him? Because I'm trying to figure out, for me, like I said before, I think he's like this masculine lead that's very feminist, and I think that's where I'm going to go. Like, he can dive into things, he's a great person to work with, he's feminist.
I feel like he's kind of a hateable character in most of them, now that I'm thinking about it more.
Right, because
Crazy Stupid Love, he starts as an asshole.
Yeah.
The Notebook, you haven't seen The Notebook, so I'm not going to say too much, but...
Does he start as an asshole?
Yes. And
I kind of always believe it, too. Like, when he's
playing
asshole,
a dick, Ken, he kind of is an asshole still. I mean, like, it's different, but, like...
Okay, he's stupid, but he is a terrible person. I have a big thing. Barbie should not have apologized. That is wrong. Barbie did not do the things that Ken did to Barbie. Ken became a terrible, terrible person. Terrible. Doing terrible things. Like, kicking out somebody from their own house, making everyone, like, hate them. Like, it's just... Anyways, I think Ken is played very differently from these other roles. Because I hate Ken more and more as the movie progresses. I still understand that he's, like, a pathetic man who doesn't know the world and could be better. So there's still something where I'm like, I don't want to give up on Ken, but he's a terrible person.
I think the issue with the Gray Man as well is he just didn't have any... Well, the Gray Man was just bad, but, like...
He doesn't change
He didn't have any arcs, and so maybe that's why I didn't like Ryan as him, because it feels like
it's a flat character.
It's bad for Ryan in my eyes.
Yes.
It's ruining Ryan's image.
I mean, what character had an arc? No character changed. They all did exactly what they wanted. Some people died, and then we ended. Like,
the girl that helped Six
a
little bit?
Ana de Armas technically went from, like, why are you leaving, bro? To, like, I'm gonna kidnap you, to very quickly... Okay, bro, I understood why you left. So technically she changes her mind. I don't know if she really had a character arc.
Yeah.
The other woman, the villainous woman, didn't have an arc. The villainous man didn't have an arc. Lloyd didn't have an arc. So, like, our three villains didn't have arcs. Whenever we entered in a mentor character, they all did the exact same thing. Like, I'm gonna help you, and then things are gonna get rough.
And then I'm
like,
gonna sacrifice myself.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sacrifice myself. They all had the same thing. Did the niece change? No. The niece was the exact same person all the way through.
Yeah.
A fun character never changed. I think she technically learned more, right? She technically learned more about the underworld. She had more personality than I thought they were gonna give her.
That's fair.
But Six, should have had a character arc. At least 6 should have had that.
He can't feel.
And
He doesn't feel things.
He doesn't feel physical pain.
He doesn't.
What about
feel
emotional pain?
Nah.
Because like it's the thing of like he even gets on the plane, right? His mentor gives him up for his niece, and the people saving him on the plane start attacking him. So he kills them all. He drops out of the plane. He calls his mentor. He's like, "Why'd you do that, bro? Like why? Like what? Like
I have my niece," and then he goes, "Oh shit."
exactly. So
And he
he's
comes
just
back.
like, she's like, "Why'd you do that?" And he goes, "Niece." And he goes,
Niece.
"Oh, okay." Like it's literally like an acceptance. He's like, all right, like
Mentally, he's like, "I'm gonna do something about it now."
I just for
Like,
me it's
It was just
doesn't
2
change.
hours of nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah,
Funny lines though. Funny dialogue.
we just gotta save a girl. The whole time we have this little girl that we need to save.
Not even the whole time.
Not even.
It started like 30 minutes in.
I guess so, but it's how it ends again.
Yeah.
And so it's sweet because I would like to believe that Ryan could be a great father figure for the niece.
And that's what
The
we're gonna
very
get
end.
in season 2 or in the second.
The
movie.
second one, but like
I hope the brother shows up in the second one. If the brother doesn't show up in the second one, I'm gonna be pissed.
yeah, because he just is
What are you
mentioned
doing?
so much.
What are you doing?
My thing is, like, if you're gonna make a movie like this with the family background, then that
Include
should
the
be
family.
stronger. Like, if we're talking about, like, the niece and this mentor figure is, like, the found family, I need a comparison to the shittiness of the actual family. It needs to be
Yeah.
foiled against each other.
It's like, I don't know. If I was, I'm not gonna continue that sentence. If I was in the little brother's position at that time, I probably would be visiting my older brother in prison and like thanking him for saving my life, perhaps, if I was allowed, if I knew.
Was it Ryan's little brother or
Yes.
older? I thought it was his older brother was getting beaten.
Brother in general.
Brother.
If my life got saved by a sibling, I think I'd
Visit
love
them.
that sibling more, visit them perhaps.
Yeah.
Um,
And we don't know anything about that relationship between the brothers.
he
It's
probably went to Harvard.
mentioned twice. Wow. Like, Lloyd?
Like Lloyd and the other 2 people, I don't
Well,
remember
also
their
because
names.
Lloyd's kind of shown to, like, not feel pain, but then he is shown to feel pain, and it was just confusing. And
Yeah,
I
it was a
just-
lot of, like, because they're like, oh, we don't feel pain, and then they were feeling pain, and I understand it was because, like,
Because you still feel pain, it's just, like, you
whatever
can work through it.
pain they were feeling was, like, to a different degree of what they're trained to withstand, I guess, which is understandable, but it's also, like, I don't know, I think it would be more interesting if someone just didn't react at all.
Mm.
Because you can just not have working pain receptors.
Yeah. It's true, some people do. And I think that's the thing, because, like, pain isn't usually shown to, like... It's the thing, if you put your hand on, like, a hot oven, right, like the stove top, it burns, because it's, like, you need to remove the hand. So it's, like, if you don't feel pain, how much do you have to be aware of your body to kind of not accidentally injure it because you just don't feel that pain? Like, how aware do you have to be? What limitations do you have to place on yourself for how much damage you can take before you need to stop doing something? Like, I think those are very interesting questions. I don't know if this is the right film for it, but that is an interesting question of, like, especially in an action genre, of, like, how much damage can you take before you mentally need to stop yourself because physically you can keep going?
Yeah. And another, this is a bad mindset to go into any action movie or any nonfiction movie, but it's just, like, so many things that they did were so unrealistic. Like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to use the word unrealistic when something is nonfiction because the point, or when something is fiction, because, like, the point is that it's fiction, but it's just, like, some of it was just so far-fetched. Like, the fact that he was... And they were calling themselves out on it, too. Like, when he was tied down, like, when he was handcuffed to the bench, and there were 50 people swarming him, and not a single person shot him once.
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
And Lloyd's like, come on, guys, there's no way.
How hard is it to hit someone that's handcuffed to a bench? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. It's like, you're not fourth wall breaking. So don't be calling attention to your flaws. Just fix the flaws.
And the other thing, my personal thing with a flaw in Lloyd's character is that he has access to all of this money and all of these people and all of this help, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his character seems like someone who would want to do it all himself and very hands-on, but he was just watching from a chair and a computer screen the entire time. And that kind of also pissed me off.
Like, he refused to go out there.
Yeah, because he got trained in the butt.
Well, that's my thing, because it's like, I was trying to piece apart, like, do I want him to go out or not? Because is he actually supposed to be this character who's hiding behind all these other things? But he's shown to be a character who wants to go outside. So I do think, like, I can see where you're going, but I think the writing itself didn't... It was confusing.
Yeah. I just think, like, for me, he seemed like someone who wanted... Like, it was just the fact that, like, at a certain point, if you want it done right, do it yourself. You know? And 50 people not being able to shoot a guy handcuffed to a bench, I feel like would...
I think he would flip a table and then run out of the room and say, get me in a fucking car. I'm gonna shoot this guy myself. So...
Yeah, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And maybe it was a traveling thing or something. Like, there could have been reasons in universe why that didn't happen, but it was just, like, overall disappointing. Like, a bunch of the decisions that were made were just... disappointing.
Every person who died
and not interesting. You know, like it's like, you know, have you ever seen those shorts of like an improv thing and there's always this guy that's like new option, new decision, new line. It's like if I could have done that for half of the things, I think it would have. You know, this actually, have you played one of those Netflix interactive series?
No.
I feel like this would have been a really good one of those if you had options to go through for, like, what you wanted to do.
Do you save the woman, or do you run into the tunnel?
Yeah, something like that. But, like, it's just...
Also, with how long they took to get to that woman, she could have gone into the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that that makes me annoyed. I know that I'm also, like, I have... written, so it's stuff that I'm just thinking of more than I think the average audience member, but that's my thing. It's like, to me that feels like a plot hole. Like, if it took so long for them to get to that person, why did she have to sacrifice herself in that setting?
Mm-hmm. There's just so many questions.
Yeah.
There's
They
so
also,
many questions and no good
the
answers.
two mentors both sacrificed themselves in basically the same way.
They both blow up.
They both blew up. But Lloyd took no damage?
Either time.
Well, Lloyd wasn't in the first one.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He got fucked up by a flare gun, though.
Really badly.
Took off the wrong fingers, though.
A flare gun that had multiple flares.
Yeah, someone was talking about that. They were like, maybe it's a revolving flare gun, and I don't... Even if that existed, I don't think the build...
I don't know enough about flare guns. I'm pretty certain that you gotta reload it.
In some way, yeah.
Yeah.
And my other thing is just, like, characters who know that they're weak and in trouble and don't immediately start booking it after doing something. They just, like, stand there and they're like, did I do something?
Well, that's the thing, because Lloyd gets shot, and he goes up to the girl, and he's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. And she just, like, stands there and lets him grab her.
I know.
After shooting him because he's about to kill her friend and is definitely going to kill her and has tortured her uncle that she loves dearly.
It's just...
And she knows all of this. And she's like... She wasn't even shaking, though. She just kind of, like, stood there with a gun.
Know.
Like...
I know, it wasn't even, like, being paralyzed. It was just, like, she was, like, thinking, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she just, like, stopped working.
It was just, like, disappointing. It was just bad. There's just so much that I was like... Oh, that hurts. That I did not enjoy that.
Well, okay. Other pet peeve of mine. I don't think the big fight should have happened during a sunrise. But I think that's just little writer brain. I don't know if that's
brothers. If they were brothers, would the sunrise have worked?
Maybe, because it's like the new chapter thing.
Yeah.
But
I think if they were brothers.
Even then, I don't know if I liked it. At the very least, I thought it happened too early in the fight. I don't know. Because I could see, like, the fight... Here's my thing. I think this fight should have happened at night. And then this villain woman character, I don't remember her name, comes in and she's like, "Stop, Ryan," and he's like, "Lot of blood." Lot of blood. And it's like, while those two people are talking, after Lloyd's been shot, is when the sunrise can be happening. Because Lloyd is now dead. Hence now the new chapter.
Yeah.
If you kept the same plot points. But it's just like little things like that where I feel like there's plot holes or there's like character decisions that don't really make sense, or it's just like, I don't know, it's...
Do you think being knowledgeable about film makes watching movies less entertaining? Not less fun, but less entertaining.
I mean, because then I think about like what I would do differently.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
I get distracted by camera movements and stuff a lot. Like, I remember Richard Shepard saying something like, "Oh, like I had this really beautiful shot of feet," and then someone, like, of all of the people walking, and then somebody afterwards in the movie said, "Oh, like that was a really nice shot." And he was like, "Oh, that's not good because the shot shouldn't be so beautiful that you're taken out of the movie."
Right, because you remember that one shot and not everything around it, so you disassociated from the overall product, and you're aware that it's film, it's fake. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that I can also like appreciate beautiful things. I think also my thing is just like we can have higher quality stuff. I think people need to be paid more. I think. Like, studios should make less profit so that their artists can actually make a livable wage so that you can spend more time on individual products and make them better. I understand how business works and it's about getting out, like, you know, it's the most profit, so maybe don't pay people and have a lot of little things. But, like, if we have good content, I think that's best. It's like movies and TV shows have come out recently that have been really good. And I'm trying to think, like, it's a thing of, some of, like, Natasha Lyonne's stuff has been really great. Some of her recent TV shows. Everything Everywhere is, like, a movie that's just, like, flawless in my mind. Like, there's things that I can see, that from every platform, like, from Apple to Amazon to Netflix to Hulu, HBO, to actual traditional...
Max?
Yeah. To traditional studios, because a lot of those streaming platforms are also owned by traditional studios as well. Do you know, like, Peacock's owned by NBC? Tubi's owned by another one. I
think I figured that out because of the logos look the same.
Yeah. But, like, so a lot of these streaming platforms are also owned by traditional studios, but my point is that, like, all of them have a handful of products that are really good, and then they have a lot of stuff that's just kind of mid, and then they got a lot of stuff that's bad. And I think we can have good content. You just need to give people the time and the money to actually invest their lives into making that thing.
That might not have been recorded. Repeat all that.
Okay. So my thing is, like, we have streaming platforms. A lot of these streaming platforms are on studios, like traditional studios. They're owned by them. Studios are making a lot of profit, and I don't think they need to, because they need to be giving more money to the actual artists who can then invest more time in individual products and projects, and those projects will be better. Because I think a lot of times you just got to do something and move on. You don't have the time to spend on this thing to make it the best it can possibly be. You just have to get to the next project where you get money.
If they were getting paid enough, then they'd be able to spend more time on it.
You can spend more time on it. It's this thing of, like, whenever, like, animation studios get quoted, they're like, okay, like, we're going to give you this much money for this and this. Like, you'll see studios who will say, like, we didn't do the best that we can do because we got this much money, which meant this many hours of work, and we did the best we could for that many hours of work, not the best that we could have done with more time, with more money. So my thing is, like, obviously, businesses still need to function, there needs to be some profit, but I think artists need to be paid more so they can actually spend time on projects so that those projects can be good, and good media, like, there's a difference, right? It's not to just, like, keep naming random things, but, like, Arcane.
I love Arcane.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really phenomenally good. Nobody thought it was going to be good. No video game adaptation has been good except for Arcane. And it's because they did something so different, right? It's not a one-to-one. They just used some of the lore. They focused on certain characters. They didn't do everyone at once. It was good. They got it to work. And that show takes a lot of time. A lot of people have been working on it for years. There's years in between seasons. That's a constant trend with animation. But it just, like, they were given the chance to have freedom to some degree, to have money, to have people, to have time, and that's why that's good.
Yeah. Riot overall with their animations have always been pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Like, their ads... I wanted to play League originally because I saw an ad and it looked dope, and then I went in game and I was like, this is... No, I don't even play, though. I just, like... I run it, like, maybe once a month because people beg me to. But it's, like... Riot is just so good at making you think you're gonna be playing something that you're not, because the ads look nothing like the actual game, and it's so disappointing when you get in game. Yeah. But they also just, like, Riot also has 2 K-pop bands now? Did you know this?
KDA, what's the other one?
Heartsteel, it's a boy band. Yeah, there's, like, 6 champions that are a part of it. They have 1 song out, I think. It's okay, but, like, their skins for Heartsteel are very nice. But yeah. But
Did not know that.
The boy band came out earlier this year, sometime in the last 4 months.
Cool.
But yeah. Wow. But, like, even those like the animations for those music videos are also, like, very nice. It's a different type of animation than Arcane, but it's still, like, really nice to look at.
But Arcane's good because it's beautiful,
yes.
But also just story-wise, emotional core-wise. Like, it's it's so character-driven. Every character has agency and clear motivations. So, yeah, that's my point. Like, we can have good media. You need to give people time. Like, that's it. And the reason why blockbusters, I think, sometimes are better than other movies. Sometimes not, actually. Sometimes they waste their money. But in theory, you have more money, which means you can have more time.
Yeah.
Right? So, not every blockbuster is great. A lot of them are still built to be a blockbuster and be, like, appreciated by a general mass audience. So it's just kind of generalized in some way. But, like, it's just, I don't know. My thing is, you don't need to have bad content. You can have good content.
And, like, even then, having one person, like, having one role being filled by a bad person can absolutely fuck up an entire product.
Yes.
Which is really disappointing, especially with the time constraints. Like, if you have a really good script, but you rush the execution of things, then it can just fall apart and be shit. And that's really disappointing.
On a technical and a creative level, because there's technical people like the DP, the gaffer, the editor, and all of the people who are helping them that, like, technically can ruin a movie. But you also have creative decisions like set and costume, which can ruin a movie or give a different feel to the movie than is originally intended by the script. Like, you can make something more corny. You can make something more any genre, right? And so, like, those decisions do matter. And it truly is, like, every department does matter. It's a thing of, like, not a problem for most professional projects. It is for indie projects, but sound. On a technical note, like, sound has to be good. You have to be able to hear these people, and it has to be good, clean audio without all this background noise. So, like, something very basic in basically every department can kind of kill a project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just really disappointing. It's a big fear. It's a big fear. And even on just, like, smaller indie sets, something that I was rewatching my vlog, but it's, like, it's fairly impressive, the stuff that we've been able to pull off. Not saying that they're the best quality or anything, but given how little money and materials that we have, the ability that we're...
$100.
Yeah, I mean, like, some
$200.
stuff, like, not even like that. Like, the skits that we recorded last weekend, that was no money, and they still are, like, fairly good quality, and that is because we have the technical and creative skills to do it, as, like, us as friends, but there's not, like, there are things that are lacking. Like, the fact that none of us are really actors kind of, like, made some of them worse than they could have been. But a lot of the projects that we've made that do have actors, and we put, like, a good amount of time into have become really beautiful with how limited we are.
I was thinking about this. So I'm still friends with, like, who I would be the person I would consider as, like, the first actor that I casted in something. I'm good friends with him. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the film that we had done together, the first project we'd worked on together recently. And there's a scene, the second scene in that film is him in front of a bathroom door, like, slamming on the door, asking for the person inside the bathroom to, like, come out and talk to him. And, like, I still think of that scene. Because I think the project as a whole, you know, maybe there's pacing issues, maybe there's, like, issues with money, whatever. But, like, this scene of him in front of the bathroom, both of the actors in the scene were, like, incredible. It was just beautiful.
It was
like,
one
that
of my
scene
shorts.
is, like, yeah, that scene is just, it works so well. There's something about the emotional, like, those two actors do great, but also, like, the equipment's not the best. We're in this tiny, cramped space, and somehow, like, the editing was able to be cut in just the right way, where, like, you never even notice camera moving, and it's just this man banging on a door. It's just that, and somehow we're able to, like, sneak out, like, 5 different shots and get this emotional, like, moment in the space of a tiny hallway that's like a 3x3 hallway. It's like a square hallway that's tiny. And so, like, my thing is, yeah, like, sometimes it just works and you don't need the money. The money's great for a lot of things.
The money's great.
The money really
specifically
helps a lot.
for feeding your crew.
Yes.
Specifically.
But I was going to say, one of the reasons why the money wasn't needed is because it was such a tight space that you didn't need set. You couldn't even look at costume because it's literally, like, the door and this person's head and their face. Like, it's listening to the actors crying and screaming at each other. And, like, that's how it worked, because we didn't actually, weirdly enough, we weren't being held back by money because you couldn't see anything that money would have bought you.
Yeah.
And we had decent enough equipment without having to spend money on it. So, like, I don't know. Money is great, and I would love to have money. But it is interesting, I think, of, like, when you have time, what you can do without it, too. Moving on, do we want to wrap this up? How much have we talked about Ryan?
Well, we have almost 2 hours of footage, and it is 5, so...
Okay.
Final thoughts.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, lovely man. We're gonna watch The Notebook this
And the Fall
weekend.
Guy, when it comes out. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe this weekend.
The Fall Guy, too. As well.
Yeah.
I think
The
that's
Gray
gonna be
Man
important
2.
for me.
In a year.
Nice Guys.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I've only seen clips.
This is gonna be a thing.
Forever.
Forever.
But yeah, I think I'm excited to see what Ryan does. I'm also excited because, like you said, he's done a lot of rom-coms.
Yeah.
And then occasional action, and it feels like he's kind of getting back into action after being Ken. So I'm very intrigued to see where he goes.
It's a rom-com action.
Yes.
The Fall Guy is.
Yes.
Is there a movie that he's in that came out after Barbie? I feel like...
Well, that was only last summer, so...
I know, and I feel like there isn't, but I've just been seeing so much content of him. I think it was the Oscars. I think I'm just going insane.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You want to make it in Hollywood? Be a decent person. As my thumb covers my face. Woo!
Yay!
Yeah, just be, like, nice.
I have to animate an outro thing. See you next week. Bye!